Well, welcome back to the den. Tonight I'm standing here in front of the dog barn, one of my favorite places on the entire property. And it's about 9 o'clock at night. It's 18 below zero, not quite 20 below zero. We've been on a short 30-mile run this afternoon, and we're just about getting ready to let the dogs in for the night. Now, before we let the dogs in, I want to explain to you a little bit about the dog barn and why we use the dog barn. We put the dogs in pretty much every single night that we're home once winter kind of sets in, sometime starting usually in either late October or early November. And regardless of the temperatures, we like to get the dogs in for several different reasons. As I mentioned, it's 18 below zero tonight, and that's a little bit on the cold side. However, it is not because the dogs are not 100% fine being outdoors in these temperatures. There are a lot of reasons from the dog's point of view why the dog barn is very important. However, most of those don't necessarily have to do with the fact that the dogs could not survive or thrive outdoors as they are with their dog houses. The number one reason, one of the reasons we love to get the dogs in the barn is one, it just gives us an extra chance to get the dogs excited about something, anticipating something, which is one of my favorite words in the English language, is anticipation. The dogs get excited, they anticipate when we're going to hook them up when we bring harnesses and equipment out into the yard. They anticipate feeding time. They get excited when they know we're about to feed them. So this is another chance. They also get excited when we are about to bring them into the dog barn. So it's another chance to get them excited, get them anticipating a group activity of some sort. So there's some psychological advantages there. There's also some physical advantages. One is when my crew, who is stationed out in the yard right now, getting ready to let some dogs loose so they can start coming in, I get a chance, standing here at the door as I let them in, to get a chance to see them moving naturally, as they would just running around, moving, see how they're doing. If they're fluid or if there's any stiffness, I might be able to pick up on something that might need a little more attention once we get them inside. And there, of course, the heat is also good for muscle recovery, just basic muscle recovery, and we don't keep it all that warm. It's probably about 50 degrees inside. But again, it does help the dogs recover faster, just like any other type of athletic event. These dogs are athletes, and of course, heat is a great thing for sore muscles. So we are able to train them a little bit more vigorously after a long exercise if they have a chance to come inside and warm up a little bit. However, the biggest reason, or the biggest advantage, why I just absolutely love putting the dogs in on a nightly basis, regardless of the temperature, even on mild nights, I just love getting the dogs in the barn, and that is basically the human element. Me, my crew, we are way more comfortable being indoors at 50 degrees than we would be tonight at 20 below zero. And yes, we would be checking the dogs' feet if we were outside, and yes, we'd be giving dogs massages. However, it is just a lot easier for us to do that in the comfort of the dog barn, and I'm positive that because of that comfort for us, I think we do a little more thorough job, if you will, like I said, with the massaging, with foot care, and just generally taking care of the dogs. We also, it's a great social interaction, not only for the dogs amongst each other, as you'll see once we get them all in there, but it's also a great way for us to just spend some downtime with the dogs. And of course, because we are comfortable, we tend to linger in the dog barn a little longer than we would, as I said, if we were outdoors. So why don't we let some dogs loose, and we'll let you inside here in a second and show you what it's all about. Agenda here first. Hawk guys on my side. Come on. You want to go in the barn? These guys got Nick coming in. As I said, the Alaskan Husky is a northern breed dog. Is very comfortable outdoors in these temperatures. However, there are some reasons why it's good for us to have them inside on a warm day. Well, we finally got everybody inside, and If you're a dog lover like I am, it's probably pretty easy for you to see why I love spending time here in the dog barn. The dogs are all stretched out, kind of relaxing. They've just all gotten a first-class rub down. All their tired muscles have been worked and stretched, and they're just kind of unwinding for the evening. And it's really part of my favorite part of the day is getting a chance to kind of enjoy this quality downtime with some of my buddies. For me, it is more relaxing and unwinding than any television show I've ever seen. So I absolutely love getting a chance to kind of just hang out in here, interact with the dogs pretty freely and comfortably, and I know they enjoy it as well. And they also benefit, as I mentioned, from just having a little more freedom, a little more comfortable temperatures. As I've been sitting here, I've seen several dogs stretch, just take deep breaths and stretch, and even their toes will extend. And I know that type of stretching, that type of relaxation, they probably wouldn't do outside at their dog houses. So I absolutely love to see that happen as well. Well, I hope this gives you another little glimpse into what our life is like around here and kind of what we do on a day-to-day basis. And if you're enjoying these little video installments, please keep checking back on our website. We got a lot more fun things in store for you. I'm dying to get you all back on the runners again. The crew and I have been working on what I think is the coolest sled ever built. We've been fooling around with some carbon fiber materials, making stanchions, and we're planning to get that sled put together sometime later this weekend. We'll try to do a little videoing of that as well. So until the next time, I hope you're all having as much fun as we are. Thank you. Well, welcome back to the den. Tonight I'm standing here in front of the dog barn, one of my favorite places on the entire property. And it's about 9 o'clock at night. It's 18 below zero, not quite 20 below zero. We've been on a short 30-mile run this afternoon, and we're just about getting ready to let the dogs in for the night. Now, before we let the dogs in, I want to explain to you a little bit about the dog barn and why we use the dog barn. We put the dogs in pretty much every single night that we're home once winter kind of sets in, sometime starting usually in either late October or early November. And regardless of the temperatures, we like to get the dogs in for several different